This podcast is brought to you by Ideate Studios, a for-rent commercial soundstage at the Entrepreneur Sandbox here in the heart of Kaka'ako. Whether making a movie, commercial, music, photography, or a podcast, check out Ideate Studios for your next digital media production. And if you're a nonprofit, be sure to ask about Ideate community discounts. For more info on Ideate or to book the studio, visit ideatestudios.org. Aloha, everybody. Welcome to the Hawaiiverse podcast, a podcast that supports local by saying aloha shirts, not Hawaiian shirts. I'm your host, Kamaka Diaz, and one of my pet peeves is actually when people say Hawaiian shirt. Makes me cringe every time. In Hawaiian, you can say palaka aloha, or there's, other things that you can say that just isn't Hawaiian shirt. That's your Hawaiian word of the day. I'll have a guest on in the future to explain the significance of aloha shirts and the history of it, but for now, let's focus on Alohawear, which is what our guest today specializes in. But before we introduce her, I want to give a shout out to my Patreon supporter, Matt Chong, who is in the building today watching live. If you want to be just like Matt and support myself as well as the podcast, make sure you check out patreon.com/kamakadias. Okay, let's introduce our guest. Our guest today is a native Hawaiian designer from the Big Island of Hawaii. She is a local fashion entrepreneur who launched her business during the Merry Monarch in 2016 and has since climbed her way to the top with her creative designs that blend classic island style with a modern, sophisticated aesthetic. This second-generation Alohawear designer is also a wife and mother of two. Most recently, she gifted the Honolulu Community College $50,000, which will be provided over the course of 5 years to create 20 scholarships each year to fashion and cosmetology students, with preference given to Native Hawaiian students. I am stoked to talk stories with her today. Her name is Alexis Akiona. Aloha, Alexis. Welcome to the Hawaiiverse podcast here at Ideate Studios. How are you doing?
Aloha. Thank you for having me.
Take a sit down. It's good to see you.
Exciting to be here.
Yes, I have a question for you before we start. How do I look?
Amazing as always. You always look good.
wearing Lexbreezy Hawai'i as always, gifted to you. Last Merry Monarch, I think. Actually, yeah.
I know. I feel like we just had Merry Monarch and now it's coming around again, so it's exciting.
Yes, definitely. We'll be talking about Merry Monarch. Not a lot, but we'll be talking about Merry Monarch in this podcast. But before we get into all that, I gotta know, where are you from, where you grad, and what was it like growing up?
Okay, so my name is Alexis Akiona, and I was born in Honolulu, but I was raised in beautiful Big Island of Hawaii in a little small town, Hilo. Mm-hmm. I'm 29 years old right now, and it's my 30th year this year, so it's very exciting. Grew up in Hilo, small town, like I said, and after I graduated high school, I actually moved back to Honolulu to pursue whatever I thought I wanted to do, all the dreams of being a small town girl, going to a big city like Honolulu. So that's why I'm here.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we graduated the same year, 2011, right?
2011.
Yes. And I know your family. I think my parents know your parents as well. We basically grew up. I feel like we had the same childhood that you have in Hilo, There's not too much to do. Either you play sports or you do whatever you can to pass the time, right?
Or church. We did a lot of church.
Yes. I think we both grew up going to New Hope.
Yeah, yes.
Exactly. So I think we have a lot that we
in
can
common,
relate
yes,
to. Yeah,
totally.
I think I mentioned, I remember seeing you at the bus stops because Kamehameha would leave from Prince Kuhio Plaza.
Yes.
And same as Navahiukalani Poo.
Oh, yes.
But you guys had your own private bus. We had the public bus. So that was the only difference. But you said that you're coming up on your 30th birthday. So am I. How does that make you feel? We're going to be 30.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Happy birthday to us. Yeah. I feel like we're celebrating
March
all
babies.
year. Yes. In July.
Oh, July. Okay.
Oh, happy early birthday.
You're not coming out. You still got a couple of months.
Well, happy birthday.
Yes,
I think it's exciting. I think all my friends are turning 30 and it's just a new year to reflect and just look over my 20s, I had so much fun in my 20s and now I'm just ready to focus on my family and my career. But I feel like 30s is the new 20s. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, 30. Do you have anything planned? Are you a big birthday person?
I wouldn't say big birthday person. I think just relaxing. Me and my husband are actually going to Tahiti for my
No
third.
way.
Yeah,
Wow,
time
that's
to just
awesome.
relax and just like look over what I've done in my 20s and just look for the next 20 ahead. So it's exciting. What about you?
Honestly, if I had more money, I'd go to Tahiti. I think if it was maybe in football season, I would really like to go to a Saints game. I'm a New Orleans Saints fan, and I've never seen a professional football game in person. So I think that would be really cool. So I might just go to Hilo, hang out with my friends and family, and then later in the year, I'll
sounds
celebrate.
fun.
Yeah,
sounds like a good time.
Yeah. I mean, Tahiti's pretty cool too. Though. Yeah. Okay. So you had a very interesting career path, because I don't think you were into, like, you probably didn't think you'd be where you are today.
Totally.
Because so you started at Kamehameha, you graduated from Waikea High School.
Yes.
And then you ended up moving to Oahu to pursue what?
To pursue radiology. I think like fashion didn't just fall in my lap. I wasn't born into the fashion world. I think it just came over time and just came naturally for me. And after moving here, I went, your parents want you to go to college and you have all these dreams of what do you want to do, and went to radiology, did that. And I just was like, you know what? I don't want to do this. It's so much work, and I started working I was here on Oahu by myself, no parents. I had my sister here. I had to work and go to school at the same time. So it was so hard for me to just pick, are we working or are we going to school? And when you're young and you start working, right? You're like, oh my God, you can really make money. So I pick up 2-3 jobs and I'm just like, I don't want to do school anymore. So I stopped going to school and I just working, and I ended up working for Farmers Market Hawaii, the clothing brand.
You were kind of the Farmers Market Hawaii girl.
Yes.
I remember always seeing you, Lexbreezy. That's how Lexbreezy started, right?
Yes. So shout out to Keone Payton and Raleigh Robertson.
Good friend of the podcast.
Yeah. So I started working for them, and I mean, like, it was just so much fun. We created such a huge brand, and it was a lifestyle that we were living. And after working for them and seeing like the possibility of creating clothing and being into fashion and seeing how they really like were such big role models for me, made me want to start something of my own.
So what was that experience like? Because you came on like during the kind of the inception of Farmers Market Hawaii, like the beginning. I remember when I was in college, like that was the biggest local brand in Hawaii.
So much fun.
And like you said, it was a lifestyle. You see those big tiki stickers everywhere, the jackets, shirts,
good times.
The hats. People would wait in line for
so
hours
crazy,
a day.
right?
Like,
you think about it now, like why were we waiting in line for shirts and hats? I don't know.
Yeah, no, but because that's how big it was, and the need was
and the
so
support
big.
and the local community. I think it was like just a big family. Like Farmers Market, really, like we were all just a big family, and just being together. It just was like it felt right, and it was just fun.
Yeah. So you took the experience you had from that, and you started to create your own brand. You kind of branched out and did your own thing. And where did Lexbreezy Hawai'i come from?
Well, after I left, it was actually like it was a struggle for me to leave. Like that's all we knew. That's all I knew was Farmers Market Hawaii. And I think at the time it's like, what are you gonna do after this? What are you gonna do now? What do you want to do 10 years from now? So you constantly are asking yourself those questions when you're young, and am I going back to school? And your parents are like, what are you doing? What are you doing? So you really think about where you want to go. And it was my mom actually who planted the seed, was like, you love fashion, you love retail. Why don't you start something of your own? I think she thought like, if you start something your own, you'll find so much more happiness and you'll do what you love. You have all this freedom, So my mom really like planted that seed for me to start something of my own and really just follow in her footsteps.
Yeah, and if you don't know who her mother is, she's so awesome. She has a brand called Simply Sisters. You might have heard of it. I think it's probably one of the biggest Alohawear brands in Hilo, at least. Maybe in the whole state of Hawaii. But
You're so funny.
No, she's awesome. She's so nice.
She loves you. She told me to say hello.
Hi, Auntie. Every time I go back, she always gives me something. I like never have to buy any clothes.
Can we get her on the podcast?
Oh, definitely. I would love to have the both of you on, but she lives in Hilo, and
I want to tell her she
go.
has to do the next Hawaiiverse podcast.
Yes. I think next time we have some time in Hilo, because usually my Hilo trips are pretty short, just visit family. Yeah. But I would love to have her on top.
Yeah, we'll push her to
She's amazing. I think I asked her a long time ago, but
she'd probably say no, but we have to like push her to do it.
She's kind of like, no, why me? No, I don't want to be on.
We just tell her there's alcohol and then she'll come.
We'll get an alcohol sponsor for that episode. Alcohol sponsors, hit us up. And I don't drink, so she'll have extra. Yeah. Okay, so when did Lexbreezy Hawai'i started in 2016 during the Merry Monarch. And what was that experience like? Were you scared? Were you excited?
So it was after I left, farmers market, and I think everybody was like, "Where did Lexi go? What is she doing?" It was a huge thing for me to leave such a big brand, and kind of venture off my own.
And you were almost like the face of it.
Yeah, actually I was. That was my life. So I think everybody was like, "What am I gonna do? Where am I going?" And after I decided to, start something on my own. Everybody kind of like followed me, and they're still so supportive. So I just ended up leaving farmers market and starting a really small business, not knowing what it's going to be like. But my parents really guided me. They didn't really tell me what to do, but they guided me and gave me resources to start something of my own. So I collabed with my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, and he made our first design. And we cut and sewed. We printed right here, actually. Right here in town in Kalihi, and we printed my first roll of fabric, and just being a part of that process and seeing all the work behind when a shirt actually gets done, it's just it's inspiring, it's motivating. So after that, I was like, at Merry Monarch, I sold out in 10 minutes.
No way!
Like my Hilo family came out, all my friends, like it was
love that
aha moment of being at Merry Monarch, being around the craziness of Merry Monarch, and seeing everybody just want to support me and support the dream that I have. And at that time, it was such a small dream. I saved up $900 just for a roll of fabric. So that was really like my aha moment of, oh my God, like this is what I want to do. It's fun, it's exciting. I can do work for myself. There's freedom, So
and to see the local people getting behind you, that's such a good feeling, right? Having support like that, and the support we have here in Hawaii is like next level.
It's different,
right? People show up.
It's different. And Hilo is just another level. So guaranteed. Fun. Though they're waiting in lines, and so funny because at the craft fair at Merry Monarch, like there is no rules. People are just coming. Hilo people do not care. They don't follow rules, And they come Honolulu and they'll stand in line nicely. They'll wait their turn. And then Hilo's like, no, they're not waiting.
You're gonna fight me.
They're different in Hilo, so they want their stuff. So it's so funny. It's different crowd, and I'm just like so grateful to have that, and that following and that local community, because that's really all our customers. It's all the locals, 100%.
Yeah. Okay. Let me ask you, what is your favorite thing and least favorite thing about growing up in Hilo?
Oh my goodness, I have a lot of least favorite things.
Hey, it's not that bad.
Oh my goodness,
I love the food in Hilo.
The food, I think it just like when I think of Hilo. I think of growing up and my middle school years, middle school and high school, and I was kind of naughty growing up. There's nothing to do, sneak out, go to parties out in freaking Puna that cost $5 to watch Paulo Fugo play. Like these are like so good memories, and then just like having memories where you're just like, that's growing up and like the lifestyle, my parents being really, really strict. So it's like a little bit of both for me. But Keaukaha, like the most beautiful place on earth. Is that where you're from, Keaukaha?
I went elementary school in Keaukaha.
The most beautiful place on earth. Like if I want to live, that's where I want to live. Yeah. The water, everything, just being in Hilo. Like as soon as you land, you're just like, the rain, and you're like, now I'm home. So just so much, so many great things, bad things. And I think that's just what home is for anybody.
Exactly, right.
You love going home, and then it's a reunion, and I start seeing everybody, and then you're like, hey, I gotta go back to Honolulu.
Yeah,
so.
I love living here, and I love being able to visit and go home, because as you get older, there's more obligations and like your family. There's just so much more family and friends, and like you always have to go to different events. Over here, where you can kind of just do your own thing work and then kind of escape to the Big Island for a
I just
little
was telling my
vacation.
husband this because my husband's from Kailua, and I was just like, oh, because he sees so much of his friends and family. I mean, so much of his friends from high school, and I was like, do you like seeing your friends from high school all the time? He don't care, you know. I'm like, I love that I'm from Hilo because nobody really knows me here. Everybody from Hilo knows me, what I was doing in high school, and that type of me. So being here is like refreshing. It's like a fresh new start.
Yeah.
So
do you feel like your transition from Lexbreezy Farmers Market to Lexbreezy Hawai'i, Alexis Akiona, or I mean, before you were married, you had a different last name. That was kind of like your transformation, like a new chapter in life.
Yeah.
Like
just
leaving
a new
the past
season,
behind.
you know, just young and fun, and I don't regret anything. It was good fun, you know. But now it's like different seasons, you know, when we go through and getting older and just making new goals and just like new. You get inspired every year and every season. There's new inspiration. So.
Yeah. So what sets Lexbreezy Hawai'i apart from the other brands, Alohawear brands? The start of spring welcomes Easter and Merry Monarch Festival. KTA Superstores is here for everything you need to celebrate what spring brings. From your local favorites, seasonal treats like marshmallow peeps, I love them marshmallow peeps, and chocolate bunnies, to complete meal solutions for Easter recipes, KTA is your one-stop shop. Can't make it to the store? Visit them online at shop.ktasuperstores.com for their hand-picked favorites available for nationwide shipping. KTA has all you need to make your events one to remember. KTA Superstores, where you're someone special every day since 1916.
I think for us, like, we get that asked a lot, you know, like, what's different? And for Alohawear, to me, is like, what is Alohawear today? You know, what is Alohawear in the 21st century? And that's really what we're about, is about inspiring everybody, you know, on the daily to be wearing Alohawear. And that was really my mission. It's like, I was young back then when I started, 22 years old. Nobody want to wear Alohawear my age. They want to wear just super simple clothes, sexy clothes.
Crop
know.
tops.
Yeah. Jeans warehouse, you know.
Jeans warehouse.
Exactly. And it's like, nobody wants to wear Alohawear, but it's so important. It's the tradition, you know, of Alohawear. It's trying to keep it alive. And so I believe that Lexbreezy Hawai'i, like, really sets us apart, is like, we're doing modern Alohawear now. It's not so much what I'm doing. I'm not really telling a story of what Alohawear is 20, 30 years ago. You know, I'm doing what Alohawear is to me now, and just trying to inspire everyone, and even especially the younger generation, to want to wear Alohawear. It's important, you know, and it's hard to find nowadays, so that's why I create, you know, sexy, flirty, you know, fun styles, and then my mom does a little bit more sophisticated, more serious styles. So
yeah, well, so what's the dynamic between you and your mom's?
I think it fits so well because we're two different. We're like alike in so many ways, which drives me crazy. But we're so different. She has so much styles, and she hates when I say this, but she has so much styles for the older women, and I do more for the younger, you know. So it's like we blend, and when we get to work together, it works because she sells to the moms and I'm selling to the kids, you know, so it works.
And do you ever fight for a design sometimes?
All the time. Every time, every day. I joke about this all the time. I'm like, I don't even fight with my husband. I fight with my mom on the daily. I don't know what it is, but she has the best ideas, and you know what mom says goes. So.
Yeah. So she always has first pick.
Yes, always, and she'll let me know that too.
Yeah. She always posts that, oh, who was feeding you growing up? Who gave you a roof over your head?
Exactly. And she won't let me forget.
Yeah. My brother is like that, except like he'll do something and then he'll bring it up like years later. Like, remember on June 8th, 2001 when I gave you that spam musubi? Like, all right, Mike.
That's my mom. She will not let me forget.
That's so funny. Okay, so how much does the Hawaiian culture play a role in your design?
I think it's our inspiration, you know. I think it's hard for me because I don't speak Hawaiian, you know. I kind of like was like on and off, you know, going to Kamehameha schools and just trying to learn it. And it's hard as a designer because you're not Hawaiian enough, they say, you know, to be an Alohawear designer. But I'm like, that's not really who I am, and I don't want to act like I have a story behind a print because that's not really who I am. So I just want to stay true to who I am and my values, and I don't want to act like, hey, I'm Lexbreezy, I'm going to tell Olelo no Aya for this design, you know, because it's like, you know what, it's okay. And that's on me. And I think I have to take classes, and I have to just go back. And I think it's just like, it plays a big role about my inspiration, but I'm not like constantly writing paragraphs about my prints, because that's just not who I am, and that's not who my brand is. So I just really try to stay like true to that.
I love the self-awareness, and I love that you say that, because I feel like people try to overcompensate because they feel like they need to be more Hawaiian, or they have to like promote this certain brand or
and
like
just that
feeling.
vision, and you know what, these Hawaiian companies like Manaola, my goodness, he kills it. He's so awesome. Zig Zane, they do so well, and that's who they are, and I love that about them. And I don't want to be somebody who acts like that. You know what I mean? So it's like, for me, it's like, just accept that this is who I am, and if I want to be them, I better go back to school, and I better do what I need to do to become more like them. Which they're such an inspiration, So I think just being accepting that this is my brand, and I love Alohawear. I love my Hawaiian culture, and I love like just being inspired by it on the daily. But totally, I need to go back to school and do all of that.
Yeah, but I love where your head is at, because a lot of times we get stuck in this mindset of like, we have to do it like how the other people are doing, or how our kupuna is doing it, because that's not respectful. It's like the idea of this modern Hawaii or modern Hawaiian is almost not acceptable. It's like I can't be a Hawaiian but wear Nikes and
totally
a designer shirt. You feel like you're not Hawaiian doing that. Where culture evolves, language evolves, everything evolves so much. Where if we never change, we'd still be wearing malos. Right now.
And it's a sensitive subject and a sensitive topic to talk about. But I think you just have to, in the end, stay true to who you are. And if you want to do more, like, you have to go out and work for it and learn. And I think that's what's hard, is like we stop learning so much, and all these other things happen, but like, no excuses.
Yeah. And if it
it's
doesn't,
okay. It's okay.
It's okay. Yes. That's what we're saying. If it doesn't feel right in your na'au, maybe it's something you come back to later in life. Like for me, I hated doing hula. I hated doing all these like cultural things, working in the mala. And like later on in my adulthood, I started to get back into it. And like, that's okay. Maybe it just wasn't right for me at that time.
Totally.
But the page, the book never closes. It's always open, just different chapters. Okay, so one thing I want to ask you, since we're on this topic of like other designers, how do you feel about people not from Hawaii making Alohawear?
Oh my goodness. What a question.
I love it.
I think that it's just not people from not Hawaii making Alohawear. If I'm going to be honest, I think that they have a lot of like homework to do, and they have a lot of ways to teach what Alohawear is. And if it's a big brand or whatever it is, I think that it's maybe not so, I wouldn't say inappropriate, but I feel like there's a lot to be learned and a lot to be taught. Sorry. I don't know what this is. Sorry.
You're there. You got it.
But I don't know how I feel. I don't really know any Alohawear brands that are, so maybe I see it, but I don't feel like, I feel like that there could be such a platform for everybody where they can teach something and they can do something and like spread awareness. Like if you're gonna do Alohawear, like be about it and own it. Don't be like half in and half out, I guess.
Yeah. So I asked this question because just recently, the other night, I got a DM request from an Aloha shirt company. That I saw them calling it Hawaiian shirts. That's why I put it in my intro, and they asked if I wanted to do a review, and I said, "Oh, sorry, like it doesn't really align with my brand. I only wear local products." And maybe they were a local product, but they didn't look it at all. They had like an English name, and you go on their Instagram, and there's like tikis and pineapples.
I think that's why I do what I do too. It's like you don't want that tacky. I mean, that's the word. I try to be so positive and nice all the time, but you don't want tacky.
Hey, keep it real.
Keep it real.
No, because like I saw that, I'm like, this is, when I'm looking at this is what the tourists, this is what people outside of Hawaii look at us like. Is that we're just like, they use the brand of Aloha and like pineapples and hula dancers, and the word aloha without
I
even
think I
knowing
learned that from Melly
meaning.
James from Mana Up is like Hawaii is such a brand, we're a
100%,
global brand
yeah.
and everybody wants to market off of it. And it's like goes back to like, Mary Monarch, how everybody wants to come in, but what we're going to give back to Mary Monarch, and what are we going to give back to Hawaii? I feel like so because you have such a big platform, you can teach, you can give back, you can like just support the community in that way. So maybe when I think about that question, it's like, what are they going to do to give back to our keiki? What are they going to do give back to Hawaii? Because they're, making money off of Hawaii and they're making money off of Alohawear. So maybe if I was them, I would be like, okay, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to give back to the Hawaii community. I'm going to give back to the keiki, and that's the way I would do it.
Yes, and you definitely wouldn't call it a Hawaiian.
Yeah.
That's rule number 1. Okay.
So funny.
So Mary Monarch is coming up, and that's where you got your start. It's such a great event. It's the biggest event in Hilo every single
festival.
year. It was so sad when it didn't run for a couple of years because of COVID. It's if you don't know what it is, the people listening, it's basically the Super Bowl of hula. It's like the
biggest
3-day competition. You got so you got the free day. You got
the Hawaiian night.
The Hawaiian night.
Hawaiian night, not free day.
Yeah, no, it's not free anymore.
Yeah, it's not free anymore. It's
and
overnight, staying online, and $5.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, sometimes they go long too. Yeah, you have like a kahiko competition, awana. There's a different style of dances, and then it all leads up to the Miss Aloha Hula, which is the biggest competition in hula.
Yeah.
And it's just such a cool event. If you've never been, try to go. I'm not even saying try to go to the stadium and see it in person, because I personally like watching it on TV.
Yeah, me too.
It's more comfy. You see the different angles.
Too.
The benches over there aren't super comfortable, but going the events surrounding Mary Monarch is what I love.
Energy.
The craft fairs, the people.
Energy,
we have
family,
visitors.
the locals.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I love.
We're
about
just
it.
celebrating hula. We're celebrating Hawaii, celebrating our Hawaiian culture. So it's exciting. I love Mary Monarch time. It's different for like the other festivals we do. And it's so special because it's in Hilo, and it brings
our hometown.
Everybody to Hilo, and everybody was saying they want to go, and I'm like, you guys gotta come at least once in your lifetime, and come and visit and enjoy Mary Monarch, because it's really so special.
So what do you have planned for Mary Monarch?
So every year, me and my mom, we get a booth at the Butler at the Civic. So that's where my mom started. She had this small little booth at the Butler, and now she has like 4 booths. So lucky me, I get to rent a little portion of her booth that she still lets me do. So she lets us sell some of our clothes, and we collab, and it's just so good for like the local businesses too, and it's really like our bread and butter for a small business. And when they took that away from the pandemic, it was hard for all of us small businesses. So last year, I think people were a little bit, they didn't know, like, should we go, should we not go, the pandemic, whatever it was. So now it's nice that all bets are off. It's the 60th anniversary. All the halaus are going to come and be ready. Like you said, you watch from home, and my sister-in-law, she dances for Mapuana, and she's like on last, so we have to wait up all night to watch her because she's coming on at 11 o'clock. So I do enjoy it from home as well, but it's just nice to get together again and just celebrate being Hawaiian, celebrate our culture, celebrate hula.
Yeah. Have you ever danced hula?
I did. Yes, I did for Kamehameha, and I miss it, but it's so much work, and I think it's important, and now I get to we're actually ready for our Mary Monarch campaign right now. So that's what it's all about, is about hula. And it was funny because all these small businesses come and make money off of the Mary Monarch, and I learned that from my mom, was like, we have to start giving back to Auntie Luana. We have to give back to the Mary Monarch, because they don't ask for much from us, So that's what we're going to do this year. We have a little tote bag that we're going to be selling for Mary Monarch. It's actually in this new Ipu print I'm wearing. Nice. So then we're going to give the proceeds to Mary Monarch with that print and that tote. So that's what we need. We need more of that, especially for small local businesses, especially for Mary Monarch and Hilo. So that's exciting.
Yeah, mahalo for doing that. And I know giving is definitely in your heart. recently you created a scholarship.
Yes.
That's so amazing. Can you tell us about that?
Yep. So when I was actually going to fashion school at HCC, I was awarded the Manuheli'i scholarship. So when I was awarded that scholarship, I was able to quit my job and I was able to go to school full time. And ever since then, I really wanted to start something that really aligned with my goals and aligned with who I was and what was important to me. And I was able to start the scholarship with the help of Mana Up and Melly James, and they really inspired me to start a give back program. And nowadays I'm learning that success is more about that. Yeah, it's all about giving back your time and giving back to the community. And just like, you can make as much money as you want, but in the end, it's like, for what, like what are you going to do to leave a legacy? So that's why I wanted to start a scholarship that is going to last and really leave a legacy for my kids, for your kids, and then for it to align with who I am. That scholarship fit perfect when I was thinking about it, because one, not only can inspire the next generation, but also give them an opportunity to start their own business, start their own clothing company. So every year we're going to be giving out scholarships for preference to Native Hawaiians and for the cosmetology students and the fashion technology students at HCC. So it's exciting.
Yes, I love that, Mahalo. They say you make a living by what you get and you make a life by what you give.
Yeah.
So you're making a great life right now.
Yeah, and it's like, it feels good, to give back, and like you just want to keep doing that and just find other ways to help other entrepreneurs and help people to really give them the opportunity to be where I am. Yeah,
and you had a lot of opportunities come up, even like Mana Up.
Yes.
As well. That was such a good.
So good.
I don't know, support for your business.
Yes. So that was, it's like an accelerator program. They help local entrepreneurs, but they help you really just think bigger and, not think about what your parents want, but what you want for the, the next 20 something years. So it really inspired me and motivated me to like want to start a give back program and want to give back to, like, that's the mission, right? At Lexbreezy is to, inspire the next generation. So just aligning that with my mission. Another
cool thing that I saw is that you have a full wahine team, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And why is that?
I started off in 2019. I had one worker. Now we opened the store and now I have 13 workers. All wahine team is like, I'm just like so passionate about that. And I just vibe well, you know.
Plus guys stink.
Yeah. I think it's a different dynamic. But I'm like it's easy to work with them and it's a good, very good energy. And you really need that when you're like trying to build something.
Do they help with your designs as well? It's more like manufacturing and selling.
So we have a fulfillment team who packs all the orders, answer all the crazy emails we get, customer service. Then we have the girls at the shop who run the shop. And then we have our manufacturing team, about 2 of them, who cut, sew, take it to local factories. And so there's 13 of us.
Awesome. And you're located in Kailua?
Yeah, Kailua.
Okay, so people can go and visit you, check out the store. I don't think I've been. I think I've passed by. I know there's the Manuheli'i in Kailua, right? Where is it located?
Right in back of Manuheli'i.
Oh, okay, that's probably why I saw it. Oh, no, I saw it because I was there before it opened.
Yes.
That's what it was. So it wasn't open when I went. That was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
When did you open?
In 2020, I believe. It was in the middle of the pandemic. Okay. I opened in the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah, how was that?
Scary. It was because we didn't have Mary Monarch, because we didn't have Made in Hawaii, that I really had to like think about what we were going to do and how am I going to get to my customers. And I just decided like the next thing is we don't have, our businesses are shut down, our factories are shut down. What are we going to do? So for me, that was like, we got to open up a store and let's just see how it goes and just cross your fingers.
Yeah.
It was totally a cross your finger moment.
Yeah, and it worked out.
It did.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so before we get into any more, I wanna do this new segment presented by KTA. You're Someone Special by KTA. We all know KTA. You know, that's the store we go to growing up. It's so funny
because when my husband comes, I'm like, we gotta go to KTA, and he's like, what's KTA? I'm like, it's like our Safeway.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but they have everything. They're like a one-stop shop. You get, you know, you got poke there, you got donuts, you
Mochi,
have
my
Oh yeah,
fave.
they sell Two Ladies
Yes,
mochis over there.
yes.
That's my life hack. Is instead of going to Two Ladies because
Yeah,
it's
go-
so long, just go to the deli section
Yeah.
of KTA and get the already pre-packed.
Yeah, the assortment.
The assortment ones, yeah. Unless you want the strawberry mochi
Yeah.
or the fresh one, then I guess you got to go into Two Ladies. But that's what I do before I come back
So
to Oahu.
funny.
I always go there and just get them. No line. Okay, so what I want to do now, because we have our first in-person visitor today, and we're going to get into Instagram questions, but I have my Patreon supporter, Matt Chong, here, and he has his own podcast called Lucid Explorer, and I want to bring him on to ask the first fan question presented by KTA, because he's someone special, just like how KTA makes us feel. So Matt, I want to have you come on right now. You're going to sit in my host chair, and you're going to ask Lexi the first question.
Shuck a length away.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So
introduce yourself first.
Oh yeah. So my name is Matt Chong. I run a little YouTube thing and on Instagrams and socials called Lucid Explorers. Mostly talking about lucid dreaming stuff, but I'm also into dreams just in general. So of course, my question is kind of dream related, but I was wondering, being a creative person, making your own designs, have you ever been inspired by a dream in any of your creations?
I think like it all will start from a dream. I feel like you said, it all starts from like an idea. And I swear I used to like dream of where I am today and like having my own store, and just like I honestly used to dream of it. And I used to think like, and then when it's happening, you're like, oh my God, it feels like, what is that word? It feels
Deja vu or
Deja
something,
vu.
yeah.
And you're like, holy crap. And you're just like looking at it and you're like, remember when you used to dream of it? And I feel like that's like been on my heart for so long. And like I used to watch people open up their own stores, and I would be like, I want to be like them, you know? And then it feels like my dreams really like helps manifest
Nice.
where I wanted to go and where I wanted to be, and like, you know, like the family I wanted to have, and really like the life I'd say you create. I feel like it all can start from your dream.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like your dreams are like, for me, it's like so funny because maybe I don't know if I can say this on here though, but smoke a little bit of pakalolo.
You can say whatever.
You can say anything.
So for me, like I get really inspired by like, you know, smoking a little bit of pakalolo, and I feel like that's what that feeling is, being in maybe in a dream.
Yeah.
You know, you get a lot of inspiration. You're like in this different like worlds. It's crazy.
That's awesome. Well, Bakalolo can actually be really good for like a stage 1 of sleep thing called hypnagogia. And so I wanted to share a potential exercise you could try that might help out. So there's this method called the Salvador Dali, Thomas Edison method or approach.
Okay.
And so what they would do, and they kind of just came up with this on their own, so they would go to sleep in like a recliner, and they would hold something heavy in their hands, so like a heavy metal key, ball bearings, and then they would put something on the ground, like a metal plate that would make noise when they fall asleep. So then they would relax with whatever artistic inspiration or, invention problem they're trying to deal with. And then as they're trying to fall asleep while thinking about that, it would fall out their hand and it would hit the metal plate. And then they would slip into this, stage 1 hypnagogic state. And that actually is like a very definable state. So like if they put you in a sleep lab, they hook you up to EEGs. So like the people watching that stuff can actually tell when you're in stage 1.
Oh.
But anyway, that's when all these mental thoughts and images that are coming up all the time anyway can become a lot more visual. And so, they would hit that, make the noise, they'd wake up, they'd try to recall it, and they would see if that would help them with any of their problems. And it just so turns out that Pakalolo does make those mental images come on a lot more visual and stronger. So, so it can actually totally help. Yeah, awesome. All right, and so one more question. I'm not sure if you would have an answer for this, but I thought it would just be fun to ask, kind of get to know, the guests a little bit more. Do you have a dream from your past? Could be memorable for any reason, maybe a scary nightmare dream, a really great fun dream, maybe like a prophetic dream, kind of like you were talking about earlier?
I feel like I have a lot of prophetic dreams. Like I feel like I have a lot of deja vu dreams. It's so weird. I don't watch scary stuff, so I don't have scary dreams.
Right.
Or just like, I feel like in my dreams, I'm always busy. Like I'm never relaxing on a beach, drinking a Mai Tai. I'm always like busy doing something, or I don't even know how to explain it.
It's like your real life, probably.
Yes. It's so weird. Like my husband is like, he talks about his dreams when he wakes up. I'm like, why am I always working in my dream? Why am I always doing something? Like when I sleep, I want to be relaxing on the beach in Tahiti, you know?
Yeah.
So I think I'm always like working in my dream or always doing something. Why is that?
Oh, well, it's probably so. Basically, whatever you're doing in the daytime, most of the time, that does tend to predominantly do what happens in your dreams. But you can do certain things. Like if you really did want to have that relaxing dream.
I do.
Yeah, so you can do, there's a lot. It's called like dream incubation. But there's plenty of things you could do. Like kind of easy one would be like you write out like a story, because then you put a little bit more thought into it. You writing it out actually gets it a bit more down into your head. And then as you go to sleep, maybe write it out like a little bit before bed. As you go to sleep, you kind of play that back in your mind. And then you can use this to have really any type of dream experience you want to have.
I feel like I have a lot of stressful dreams. Like I wake up and I'm like, why am I dreaming of that? I'm going to forget to pick up my kids. Stuff like that. I'm like, what?
Yeah. So those are just some fun things you can try. But yeah, I love talking about dreaming. So if you ever want to know more or learn how to lucid dream, feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help.
Thank you.
Yeah, go check them out. Tell them where to find you.
So Lucid Explorers on YouTube. And then Lucid Explorers on Instagram and TikTok, although I'm not on TikTok all that much. And feel free to reach out to me. You can also email me at lucidexplorers@yahoo.com.
Right on. Mahalo, man. Thanks for coming on. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back with Instagram questions. Want to make a podcast? Spotify's got a platform that lets you make one super easily, then distribute it everywhere and even earn money, all in one place for free. It's called Spotify for Podcasters, and here's how it works. Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and edit podcasts right from your phone or computer, so no matter what your setup is like, you can start creating today. Then you can distribute your podcast to Spotify and everywhere else podcasts are heard. Video podcasts are also available on Spotify. And when you want to take the conversation with your fans to the whole new level, Q&A and polls are the best way to get them talking. With Spotify for Podcasters, you can earn money in a variety of ways, including ads and podcast subscriptions. And best of all, it's totally free with no catch. Ever since I discovered Spotify for Podcasters, I've been able to earn money and get creative and do everything that I love on one platform. I highly recommend you give it a try. Download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started today. Mahalo. All right, we're back from a shishi break. That was an awesome conversation you had with Matt. Dreams are super interesting.
Crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I used to keep a dream journal for a little bit, and it's so cool to look back on it and just kind of remember your dreams.
That would give me anxiety.
No, it's cool because I think when you wake up, you forget like, I don't know, 90%, I don't know what the number is of your dreams. So it's really cool. As soon as you wake up, just write it down. And something super interesting to get into. I see a little thing here. I was thinking too, if there was somebody that could talk about the Hawaiian culture and dreaming. Mm-hmm. Like I was telling Matt off the podcast that for people, when they think of a name, they're having a child, sometimes it comes to a family member in a dream.
Always.
Yeah, so I think that's a really cool subject to talk about, but with another guest. Anyways, we're gonna get into Instagram questions presented by KTA, and this first one comes from Olu_808. How has your grind/work ethic evolved from your farmers market Hawaii days to now?
Oh my God, everybody wants to know about my farmers market days. I think people just kept following me, Mm-hmm. I think I haven't stopped. Mm-hmm. I've always had a great mindset of hustling. And whether I was selling T-shirts then, now I sell dresses. And I think that it just, it evolves over time, and you have different seasons of your life, but I don't think it stops. You just keep going, and you just keep putting one foot in front of the other. And everybody wants to know, what happened to me and Farmers Market? But I'm like, it was just time for us to grow, and everybody has grown. Keone's just killing it, Raleigh's killing it, and everybody just has a different season in their life. But I don't think it has changed. I think it just motivates me more when I see all of them doing so well, and just like hoping that I make them proud as well.
Definitely. It kind of gave you your foundation.
Yes,
right?
totally.
Your
And we need
foot in the
that.
door.
And sometimes people are like, especially the younger generation, like, what can I do? And I'm like, go work for somebody that you want to be like. Like, if you have to work for free, I would do it. I would love to work for that person, And they were like, they don't pay that much. And I'm like, it's about the experience you get in the end. And like, you can't forget about that. You have to like really surround yourself, and it's free. You're getting taught all these. That's where I learned a lot from Farmers Market. I learned a lot about branding. It's how I built Lexbreezy. My following behind it. So just really like working for someone and just like using it and like letting it motivate you.
Yes, definitely. I love that. Mahalo for sharing that. Next question comes from Teanri_designs. This person wants to know, what gets you out of a funk/artist block / lack of creative drive?
Oh my goodness. Yes. I
Pakalolo.
felt like I just always the beach. I think sometimes you just have to like take that day off. You have to, I just was going through this January, February slow season for fashion, or for retail, I'd say. Holidays, so crazy work. January, February comes around, we're slow, and you're in a funk after the holidays, and I think you just need like a reset button. And you have to, like, for me, it's like, I'm only gonna give myself the weekend, I'm not gonna like cry about it any longer. I have to like put one foot in front of the other, and just like, for me, it's like sitting with that feeling and being like okay with it, like, I'm in a funk, just let me rest for a couple of days, go to the beach, spend time with my family. And when you hit that mark on Monday, you have to like push yourself out of that funk. You have to do it. You can't let it sit for any longer. I feel like 2-3 days is like good, and then you get stuck in even a bigger rut. So just like, for me, it's like, take those 2-3 days off, go to the beach, do whatever you want to do, whether it's being with your family, whether it's going to your favorite place to eat, find something that you enjoy doing. For me, I love the beach. And it's like, something about the salt water is just so refreshing. And I was like told that actually.
The vitamin D.
I was told that like I'm an empath person, so I need that water, and it just washes away all the negativity. So for me, it's the beach. So just go to the beach, relax. And you gotta kick it. It's like a cold. Like for me, you gotta kick it. How long am I gonna have this sickness? I don't know, but I gotta get over it, and I gotta just kick it.
Yeah, just find your beach.
Yeah, find your beach.
That's what you gotta do. Next question comes from Kamale Pakele. She wants to know.
Hi, Kamale.
She says, "P.S. I love you" at the end.
Oh, so sweet.
What's your favorite collection, design, and why? And then P.S. I love you.
So sweet. Aloha, Kamale. My favorite collection, I have two favorite collections. One is my bridal collection. The print is, we used the print for my wedding. And that we just launched that last year. So we did a little small bridal collection, and I used the print that we had in me and James's wedding on the collection, and I launched it during my wedding. During my anniversary, sorry. So that was like always like my favorite. And then my next would be my senior collection that I did. This was during Mary Monarch time too. I was a senior at HCC graduating, and they decided to make my senior fashion show 2 days after the Mary Monarch. So I flew home to Mary Monarch, released the collection, and then I flew back home to Honolulu 2 days later and did my fashion show for my senior line.
Whoa.
Rough. It was rough, but
you're a hustler.
Yeah, and it's good. It's good, So that's a special collection, my senior graduation collection, and then the bridal collection.
Awesome. Super cool. Next question comes from Kaiulani. It's a bunch of I's. Kaiulani. How has your business transformed your identity within yourself / family and friends, etc.?
Identity with myself. I think in the beginning, I started off wanting to create a brand, and now I'm at the level where I want to create a legacy, and I'm at that point where I want to give back. And so I started, wanting to, I'd say, starting off, we want to make money. And that's the goal in the beginning, to get started. But now I'm at a place where I want to give back. And I think it's just like different seasons. And now I'm at a place where I have freedom to be with my family more and make my life surround. My life is already around my kids, but having it around their schedules. So I think it just is also your seasons. But definitely what you do in the beginning is going to pay off, 10 to 20 years from now. And in the beginning, I'm like working so hard and you don't know why you're doing it. You don't know why you're grinding. And then now, I think we're at like 8-9 years. I'm like, now I can take my kids to school. I can pick them up. I can take them to Taekwondo. I can send them to private school. So it's, different. So in the end, it's like your goals always change. But now for me, it's like, what can I do for you? What can I do for the community? What can I do for the keiki? I think that's what my 30th year is going to totally be all about. It's just switching that and aligning everything. So it's beautiful.
It is very beautiful. I love it. So what does it take to create a scholarship? Because, now that you're inspiring me to maybe create a Hawaiiverse or Hawaiiverse podcast scholarship for people who want to
the idea
do something
of it,
similar.
even like idea and just like in Hawaii, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Who can we talk to? Like talk to the chancellor. I talked to my advisors at the fashion program, and it's a very small program, so they need it, they want it, And then from there, I ended up talking to the chancellor. I ended up talking to a UH developer, and it just all the thoughts just connect in the end. It's so crazy. Like you have this one idea. I had this one idea for the scholarship. The following week, I'm like meeting the UH director and I'm meeting the developer of it. I'm like, whoa, and just like putting one foot in front of the other. And it's good. It's great. And they need it too, So it's through the UH Foundation. And if you need, I can totally hook you up with them.
Yes. That'd be cool. Because everyone knows me for the guy who paid off his student loans in 1 year just doing odd jobs. But like if I had scholarships, then I wouldn't have had so much debt. But it really is. It was more about financial literacy as well, because I didn't even know about I didn't see the importance of scholarships, grants. I didn't know what was out there.
Yeah, and it's a lot of work to sign up and do the paperwork, and it's a lot.
Yeah, and I just wasn't motivated to do that. But if I knew there were scholarships out there and, I could apply for it, there were preference for Native Hawaiians, I would have done more
There's
of that.
a lot. I think it's more about even like educating ourselves and educating the keiki that there is opportunity out there, and that might be the steps you got to take to get there, but it's worth it.
Yeah, we'll definitely hit you up when I get to that point.
That would be exciting.
I'm still in my hustle grind phase. Yeah, but I'll get to that.
Yes, you will.
Definitely, because I love giving back. Okay, last question comes from Kiani Kanoe. This person wants to know, any more keiki in the future?
Oh no, he's so funny. Everybody's like, when are you gonna pop out the girl? And I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't know. I don't know. Me and my husband talk about it all the time, but 2 under 2 is rough.
Ooh,
we are like
2 under 2.
barely surviving right now. So, but I'm so grateful because we have so much help. I have my in-laws and my sister, and I have such a great husband. So I'm lucky, but I don't know.
We'll see. Stay tuned. Follow her.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Let's not manifest that though in the universe, everybody.
Let's not dream about that yet.
Yeah, we're not dreaming about that. Totally.
Yeah. Okay. Well, mahalo everyone for the Instagram questions. Make sure you leave some for our next guest, and maybe your question will make it on the podcast. Okay, so how do you choose somebody for your scholarship?
So actually, I don't choose it.
Oh, you have a committee?
It's actually through the UH Foundation. Okay. So it's my idea, and they kind of take it over. But for me, I think it would, when you do a scholarship, you have to have the 3.0 or the 2.0. You have to, read an essay. But my scholarship is really easy. It's just your preference goes to the Native Hawaiians and to the fashion technology program. So just please sign up because it's really, really easy.
Yeah.
But
okay.
if I had to choose, it's easy. I think if you have to choose, it's more about, your goals or where are you trying to be and what do you want to use the money for? And where will it help you?
Yeah, so keep that in mind when you're applying for it. And what is it called?
It's the Lexbreezy Scholarship.
Lexbreezy Scholarship. That's a cool name. How did you come up with Lexbreezy?
Oh my God.
What is the
Should we
story
say
behind
it?
Lexbreezy?
Should I say it on here?
Lexi, there are no
goodness.
rules on this podcast. We
Okay,
are
Lexbreezy
independent.
comes from my Instagram name because I used to I smoke weed, so it's like Lexbreezy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
Nothing
simple.
crazy and
Yeah.
motivating, but the truth.
But it's such a good ring. It
Yeah,
has
and
such a good ring
I
to
had
it.
such a big following with my name, so I couldn't I'm like, should I make my clothing brand with a Hawaiian name, or should I use my middle name? But my mom's like, no, your brand is Lexbreezy. You are your brand. So I'm like, okay, mom.
Yeah.
So even my store, she's like, you're not gonna name it Lexbreezy. I'm like, well, I don't want to name it Lexbreezy because that was like who I was with Farmers Market. And she's like, well, that's who you are now. And I'm like, I know. So it's hard for me I just ended up accepting it. Like accepting that that's who I am still to this day. People still call me Lexbreezy. You know, I'll be with my kids and they're like, you're Lexbreezy. I'm like, yes.
That's funny. Do you like that?
Huh?
Do you like it?
I mean, I don't know if I like it, but I'm just like, I just learned to accept it.
You can't do anything about it, right?
I'm like, I'm Alexis, but it's still so humbling.
Yeah. It's crazy to see how far you've come.
Thank you.
And you kind of came up with social media as well.
Yes.
Because when we were in college, when the farmers market was happening from, I don't know, when was the peak of it? Like 2014, 2015?
Yeah, around there, I'd
around
say.
there. And that was only, 4 years of Instagram so far?
Yeah,
So
actually, I have to say that Keone is the reason why everybody has videos on Instagram. He's the creative director of Farmers Market, but man, he knew exactly what he was doing. He's incredible. I feel like everybody followed him and followed our brand and they learned because we were doing videos and all kind of videos, skateboard videos, diving videos, just whatever that lifestyle was, but we made it look really, really fun. And that was the start of Instagram. So that's where I really got my following from. Everybody just kind of followed me to Lexbreezy Hawai'i. So.
Yeah, one of the OG
So blessed.
influencers. I guess
You're so funny.
But you're smart that you capitalized on that and you made it your brand.
Yeah.
Because that's what you see so many people doing these days, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe not doing. Maybe more people should be doing it,
Yes,
right?
I always say that. I'm like, you guys, I think one of my girlfriends, she does hair, Kylie, but she sells these shampoo, and I'm like, Kylie, you gotta go make your own shampoo, but she's working on it.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone's on their own path.
Yeah, excited. That's what I'm always thinking about when somebody's doing something. I'm like, you can do that yourself.
Definitely. Okay, so Hawaiiverse is all about supporting local. We have our app that everybody can go download on the App Store.
Amazing. Congratulations.
Mahalo. Yeah, Coupon Directory. We have our e-commerce site where we sell local products. So I want to ask you, what does supporting local look like to you? Because it's so important here. I mean, everywhere, but especially here in Hawaii, where so much of our money goes out, but not much stays in.
Yeah, I think there's two types of customers for us. It's supporting local, but do you support local to an extent? We're local, but nobody wants to pay over $100 for a dress, So for me, it's like, maybe you can't support local all the time, but when you can pick and choose where you want to support. And it's not only important, but it's the future of Hawaii. I've said this before where we learned that in the pandemic in 2020 that we can't rely on tourism. We think we learned that the hard way. And we have to rely on each other. We have to rely on our fishermen, our artists, our creators, anybody who makes products here locally. I believe that that's the future of Hawaii, is supporting one another and supporting local. And you can't support local all the way. Sometimes it's too expensive, but maybe today I'll go shop at KTA. And maybe I won't go shop at Safeway, and maybe I'll buy my chicken from just KTA today, and just little things I think you can do to try. Maybe you can't support local all the way, but just that thought of trying and maybe not buying the whole thing, but just some is so important. It really is.
Yeah, that's my biggest goal, is to not have everybody do everything 100% local, because it's very hard.
Yes,
and we just
exactly.
It's not affordable.
Yeah,
most
I
times.
think it's not realistic.
Yeah, maybe in the future we can take steps to get closer to that, but it's really about making the conscious decision
Little by
support
little,
local,
yes.
little, and that's what Hawaiiverse is all about. Is instead of going to McDonald's,
Yes.
I'm gonna just go to a local mom and pop shop. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm spending a little bit more, but I know where that money is going to, and it's just a small thing. And maybe when I'm hungry at 12 o'clock at night because I got the munchies, then I'll go to McDonald's, Jack in the Box, Taco Bell, because that's the only place open.
Yeah. It's
right?
okay, though.
It's okay. So I think, just trying to shift the mindset of like, okay, I'm H&M. I don't know. I'm so bad at clothes. Give me some like
Zara.
cheap Zara. Those places.
Gucci.
Like,
I don't know.
Okay, not
Louis
Gucci. No,
Vuitton.
I'm looking at like cheaper places, right, where I can just get like a cheap dress or whatever, just for like a night out.
Yeah.
That's cool. But then you got like birthday parties or graduation and
Totally.
events, Mary Monarch, where you need that nice Aloha shirt or just like beautifully printed dress, and that's when you splurge and you buy
Support
Aloha, where you
local,
support Lexbreezy Hawai'i, Manuheli, Imano,
Totally.
like all these things.
Yeah. And I think for me, it's like not only when you support us, it's like I get to support my workers. I get to support other brands because I'm constantly shopping at all these other brands too. So it's a
cycle.
domino effect. Yeah, it really is. So it's nice. And like, that's the future of Hawaii. We have to like support everybody who makes products here. And we have to support everybody. So
I love that. Awesome. Okay, so you're also a mother, and I can't imagine how stressful it is to run your own business.
I want to need a little sip of my tea right now.
Take a little tea break. And I just want to ask
Look,
you, because
I'm not supporting local, but
it's all right.
I know it's okay. It's okay.
You got your Yeti. You got your Yeti printed flask, and you're not drinking out of water bottles.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
good for the environment as well. So I love
Thank
that. I want to know, what is the biggest thing you've learned as a mother so far?
I think it's balance now, and that's what I'm constantly teaching myself is balance and taking your time for yourself and taking time for your family and my husband. So just finding the right balance for it all. And everybody asks me, how do you do it all? And I'm like, balance, prioritize, organize. My calendar is set out for the whole year already, and taking that time for yourself when you need it, stepping back and like realizing that maybe it's okay to be with your family right now and just accepting that. I think when I started, it was hard for me because I didn't know how to juggle being a mom and being an entrepreneur, and I wasn't working when I first gave birth. So that was so hard for me. But now getting into a routine and just accepting that I'm a mom and I'm a working mom and I have to be proud of it, and it's okay that I work. People will constantly tell me, like, enjoy every moment, they're only young once. And I'm like, I am in the thick of it. I have 2 kids. It's hard to enjoy the
Give them back to me when they're a little older, they stop crying.
I'm stressed. My kids are whining all the time. But, I love them so much. And I realize that I just have to accept that this is the life that God has chose for me. And I might not be a stay-at-home mom, and I might not be able to be with my kids 100%, but just accepting that this is my life and own it and be proud of it. And I really just embrace it.
Awesome. How did you choose the names of your
I feel
kids?
like my mom reached out to you.
For one of them, the Lawai'i, something about
Lawai'i.
Yeah.
So actually, you helped me name my son, and you don't even know it.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Was it in one of your dreams?
No. So your mom would just message me randomly for Hawaiian words, like, how do you say hula?
His life or whatever.
Yeah, or like hula dancer in Hawaiian, whatever. And then I remember when you were about to give birth, she was asking me, what is the name about, or what's
fisherman.
The definition? Yeah, something about fishermen.
Yes,
and I was thinking about Kalawai. That's the name of your kid?
Yes, Kalawai Nui and Kia'i o Kekai.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
So I guess because you love the beach,
my husband is a fisherman.
Your husband's a fisherman, so it makes sense.
Yes.
Okay.
And then Kia'i just being on the Mauna that whole time. My God, so inspiring. I wanted to have a little Kia'i of my own.
And now you do.
Yes.
Yeah, you're the Kia'i right now, but as your kids get older, they'll become your Kia'i.
Amen.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, what is some advice for people that want to start their own business?
Some advice, I think, I get this question a lot, I'd say. Advice. I think it changes for me too.
Okay. If you get that question a lot, what is the one thing people shouldn't do when they're starting a business?
One thing shouldn't do. Well, let me answer the first one question.
Okay.
What one thing that they should do? I feel like you have to like go all in. You know, you can't, like, for me, when I first started Lexbreezy, I was working part-time job at TJ Sports Bar, waitressing. I was going to school and I had a business. And you have to just like stop what you're doing and go all in. If that's your dream and that's your goal, like what you're doing, you gotta go all in. You can't, like, you only have so much time in a day, I feel like. So you really have to pick and choose where you're gonna use your time and what you're gonna use your time for. So I would tell everybody, like, if that's your dream, if you wanna be a designer, you might have to stop working your full-time job, but just go after it. It's worth it. Just quit what you're doing. And I mean, I shouldn't say maybe quit your job or what, but when you're ready to quit your job and go for it. Just take that risk and just go all in, man. And bet on yourself, you know. That's what they say. Bet on yourself, go all in, and take that risk.
Love it. Okay, well, what shouldn't you do?
What
Not take the risk?
you do? You shouldn't. I'd say you shouldn't listen to what everybody else is going to tell you.
Okay, so don't listen to you.
Yeah.
All the advice she just said, do not listen to her.
Yeah, don't listen to the people that tell you to not quit your job and stay in your 9 to 5. I'd say, like, listen to the people who are going to motivate you and support you. And I think that's why I'm here today, because I don't listen to people who, like, when I become a mom, people are like, how are you going to run a business and be a mom? And I'm like, okay, hold
Watch
on.
me.
Yeah.
Hold my tea.
Yeah. So just like, don't listen to that. Don't listen to the negativity, and don't put yourself around that, and step out of it, and like, just prove everybody wrong.
I love it. Are you one of those people that you love proving people wrong?
I don't say I love proving people wrong, but I feel like there's a great energy when you do something that people say you can't do it. And I've had, like, so many people have told me, like, I can't do this, I won't do that. Even my mom, maybe when I'm growing up, I can't do this, you know. But it's just good energy behind it, and it's positive. You know, you can use all of that for motivation, and instead of using it for negativity, you know, just use it towards the future and moving forward, and use it as fuel.
I saw a video once, or it was a talk, maybe just a random reel on Instagram, where they said like how we grow up, we're always hearing no and don't do this, don't do that. And sometimes it affects us, like, psychologically. So instead of saying, like, oh, don't touch that, don't do that, don't spill that, it's maybe just do it more positive. Like, instead of don't spill that, like, watch out for that thing, or just kind of like changing the
I
word
should
you
practice
use.
that at my house.
Yeah, instead of
with
like
my kids.
no. It's like, I don't know exactly what it was, but it's just
like
kind of
positive parenting, I feel like.
Yes.
I told my husband that. He's like, what? No way, it's lick it.
Maybe that's Hawaii style.
Totally. I'm like, what? We need a gentle parent, but gentle parent doesn't work in my house. So.
Hey, to each their own.
Yeah.
Okay, so out of all the things that you've done so far, and still pretty early on in your career, I mean, we're still so young, we're just not even 30 yet. I'm going to soak that in as much as I can my last couple of days. What are you most proud of?
What am I most proud of? I think I'm most proud of is that I can, like, continue my mom's legacy and work with her together, you know, side by side, and follow into her footsteps as a second generation Alohawear designer. And really, like, learn from her, and especially learn from my dad about business and about fashion. So I think that's what I'm most proud of, is just being able to follow in my mom's footsteps and really, like, keep the tradition of Alohawear alive, and keep that, like, second generation, you know, alive. So it's exciting.
Why is that important to you?
What?
Keeping it alive and keeping it...
What I feel like that's who we are in Hawaii, is like those little moments of keeping our tradition. And that's, like, for us, it's like we still manufacture here, and that's the tradition of Alohawear. It was being manufactured here, right? So that's like those little bit traditions that I like to keep alive.
Yeah, keep it local.
Keep it local.
Yeah. Why did you decide to manufacture here where it's probably cheaper to manufacture elsewhere?
Well, when I first started, my parents manufactured everything here, and it was like I said, the tradition of keeping Alohawear alive. And you go to all these factories, they're making thousands of Aloha shirts, and the quality is here, and it's easier to control here. And I love producing here. It's really, really expensive. So that's why it's important to support local. Also, we do overseas. So I feel like it's about a 50-50.
Okay.
During COVID, we had to go overseas.
Everywhere shut down here, right?
All factories shut down. So we went overseas, and, people are like, China this, China that. Like, you know what? It's okay, because for us, it's like I said, not everybody can afford a $100 Aloha shirt. You know what? Maybe somebody who is local can afford maybe a $50 Aloha shirt. So it's like a
balance.
Yeah, nice balance, I think.
Also, pretty much everything I would say, look around. There's probably more things here made from China than not. China just owns everything.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you most grateful for?
Right now, I think I am most grateful for the help with my kids. I think that on my heart is my in-laws and my sister, and just having a great husband who supports me in all my crazy ideas, and my family. I think you're always grateful for your family, but just right now it's a lot for me. So I'm so grateful for the help we have with my kids, so I can be here today. And of course, my husband just being my backbone and letting me do whatever I want to do most of the time, and all my crazy ideas, and also the Lexbreezy team, I'd say.
Awesome. How did you meet your husband? I love hearing the little meet cutes.
Actually, we met at Tattoos by Bong. He used to apprentice at Tattoos by Bong, and I was getting tattooed.
Oh, because he's tatted up, yeah?
Yeah, and he was drawing, and I was getting tatted at the time, so...
And then you're pal, and you're like, oh, can I get another tattoo by that guy? Or your tattoo artist came up, and you're like, oh, no, I want that guy instead. That would happen?
No, definitely not.
And so he actually, or both of you started a brand, Kane Collective,
Kane
right?
Collective.
Yeah. Was that his idea, your idea?
Well, he's been
idea?
an artist.
Yeah.
He really likes drawing. He's done numerous amount of our designs in print. And fishing is just his lifestyle. So I said, you know what, at Lexbreezy, it's hard because I sell women's wear. Sorry. And
Nice. Blame the kids.
yeah. And I was like, let's do a men collection for just men's, So he was able to do all the designs, and I help him do that. And it's fun because he likes to draw, and he's such a great artist.
What is something you wish people knew about you that they don't?
Good question. I think people don't really know that I'm actually a homebody. I actually love being home. I don't really like to be out as much as it seems like I am. So I feel like everybody thinks that I'm out and about all the time, but I actually love being home. I love sleeping, and I love just being with my husband and my family. So
yeah, that's awesome. I love it. I'm a homebody. I feel like as you get older too,
I feel like I'm an introvert in some way,
Do you think that changed a lot from when you were young?
Totally.
Or you were
maybe because I read that quote on Instagram. It was I was doing what I was doing at 15 or something like that. And I'm growing up in Hilo, you get into all kind of trouble.
Yeah. I think, maybe it's more so you're just trying to find something to do, kind of discover what you like as well. And then as you get older, you're like, okay, well, I kind of just like staying home.
Yeah, me too. I like staying home. Maybe not seeing so much people all the time.
Yeah, but for your business and your brand, you're kind of forced to do that.
Totally,
and it's totally important.
It is. It really is. And just putting yourself out there, it's it's a lot of work, but you have to do it.
Yeah. I'm a total homebody.
Yeah.
I never go out unless I have to. Yeah. Like events and whatever.
Yeah, you
things
must
that
have to be
I'm
out a lot. That's why.
Yeah,
Like
but-
constantly promoting, constantly looking for people.
Yeah, I think it works for my lifestyle though, because I'm more naturally introverted, where I recharge by being alone.
Yeah,
so all my
totally.
social stuff I get out during work. You know why? Where sometimes people work, it's more solitary. So they're just on their laptop, or especially during the pandemic, they're just working remote by themselves at their home. Whereas me, I'm just like always talking to people, meeting people, working with
Yeah.
people. So when I'm done with that, I get all my socialness
yes,
out there, and then I
totally.
can just go home and I don't want to do anything, and I'm just chilling by myself.
Don't call
watching
me, I'm
sports.
good.
Yeah, so I think it's a good balance for me. Okay, so what are your future goals? You got your scholarship, you got the Marijuana coming up. You're always going to be creating new designs.
Future,
What's
I think
beyond
it's. I really want to start something, and I'm going to put it into the universe. I want to start like a nonprofit for the keiki, or for moms, or I want to find something that maybe a nonprofit that is already out there. I want to start giving back to like moms, and I want to help them. Like, I know so many moms who don't have the money to send their kids to childcare, so that's kind of what I feel like I'm being drawn to more of, is like starting a nonprofit, helping the keiki. That's like my goal. My goal for my 30s is like I gotta start something to give back, man. This scholarship just like lit a fire under me. Like, oh my God, I want to do more.
So it's like an addictive feeling.
It is
huh?
like just like wow, like when you surround yourself with people that's all they do is just constantly giving back, and they're constantly trying to support the community and the keiki, man. It's so inspiring, and that's my next goal. Is I gotta find something. I gotta create something that aligns with Lexbreezy, I feel like, but at the same time can help our keiki, can help moms, because that's so important to me. So if you know anybody that needs that, if you know anybody that has like nonprofits working with women or moms or the keiki, like we got to do something for them.
Yeah, or some sort of collab or something.
Yeah, something collab. How can I give back to the keiki? How can I give back to Hawaii? So that's like my next goal.
Well, I feel like something that will align with you and your husband, because you love to see, is Nakamakai,
Yes,
Dwayne
yes.
DeSoto's
Yes.
nonprofit.
Yes.
Because they do a lot of things where they give access to kids who
Yeah,
don't
see,
really
this is the
have
type of
access.
conversations
Yeah.
we have to have, because that's why we got to get out, because like exactly.
Yeah, you should look up Nakamakai.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool.
Yeah.
I'm actually planning a Hawaiiverse podcast party right now.
Oh, how
So
fun.
you're going to be invited. Matt's going to be invited. So hopefully Dwayne is over there, and
Yeah, it's just about
make the
connecting,
connection.
networking,
That's what the party's going to be about. I'm going to invite all my past guests. It's an exclusive.
Oh,
A party
fun.
is only if you're on the Hawaiiverse podcast, you're invited.
So fun.
And I can't even be talking about this. It's so secretive. Actually, I can't say
Well, I
anymore.
love a good
Yeah.
party.
Yes, there will be drinks and food. Okay, do you think that feeling inside of you where you just want to give back and give back to the keiki changed as you became a mother?
Totally, yes.
Or it was always with
Totally.
you?
No, I think it changes when you have kids. And I joke about this all the time, because everybody used to be like, why don't you do kids' clothes? And I'm like, well, I don't have kids. And then you have kids and you're like, okay, now I can do clothes. Now I know what mothers are going through. And even like before you have kids, you think you're going to do all these things, and be a great mom. And you're like, oh my God, I can't do all that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But just, it definitely changes when you become mom and you become a parent. So
That's cool.
different, your values and everything just change.
Yeah, I can see that. One day I'll know what that's like. One thing that I'm pretty like headstrong about, like I'm very disciplined about, is not buying kids anything.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna be there when you yes.
Because like even we have nieces and nephews, and so does my girlfriend, and she's always like, oh, that would look so cute on Ayla, that would look so cute on Laiku or Kani. I'm like, yeah, it would look so cute on them for 2 months until they outgrow it. Like that's how my mindset is.
Yeah, that's how my husband probably thinks too.
Yeah, like why would you spend?
I think it's just a
that?
guy thing. Like you're like, why are you spending money again? I'm like, because it's cute.
Yeah, the kid that's gonna outgrow it. I'm like, oh, but I don't know. I like the idea of supporting local and spending money on a local brand, but I'm not gonna spend my money on that.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah,
You owe me dinner if you do buy. Remember, when you're looking to buy something, remember me. You told
I'd
me
rather
that.
just buy. I'd rather just take you and your husband out to dinner than buy something for the kids.
So funny.
Because memories last a lifetime. You know, clothes just they end up in a, I don't know, wherever they
And
end
they
up.
grow so fast.
Yeah. Okay, so before we end the podcast, I gotta ask you, what is your life hack?
My life hack. Oh my goodness, so much.
Share what you want.
I've thought about this. I think now, I'm always talking about where I am now. And I learned this actually from my mentors, Melly and Britt from Mana Up. I learned that every opportunity or decision that I'm about to make or I'm deciding to make is I have to ask myself these two questions. Does it support my future? And the second question is, does it align with my values? So I have so much opportunities that will just come my way, or they'll come your way, they're getting thrown at you, and you only have 8 hours in a day. So does whatever opportunity is coming, is it going to support my future? And is it aligned with who I am and aligned with the values of Lexbreezy? So that's what I always try to ask myself now, because for instance, I always get asked to do career day, all the schools. And I'm like, yes, yes, and yes. Because one, that supports Lexbreezy and our mission. Our mission is to inspire the next generation, right? And two, it supports my future because that's the keiki, So I always make sure that I say yes to that. And bigger opportunities, it's not only about money in the end, because you only have so much time in the day. So for me, it's like you have to keep, and I always ask myself this now, even for the smallest decisions, but I say that's definitely my life hack.
Awesome. I love that. I'm actually going to talk at a career day on Friday.
Oh,
coming up. Yeah.
So good. And before, I don't want to do it because I'm like tired or whatever, it is. Don't have
I
time.
Get up at 8.
Yeah.
That's early for me.
But it's good. And like, you just want to, even for you, with all your opportunities that come, everybody wants to be on your podcast, but you just have to ask yourself, does it support the future? And it doesn't align with who you are and your goals?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely agree. Even like what I mentioned earlier with that Aloha shirt company reaching out to me, I just it doesn't align.
Yeah,
with
maybe they'll
what
pay you $100 million, and you're like, no, but in the end, it doesn't support where I'm trying to go. It doesn't support my future, So
that's what I always said at the beginning of starting this podcast, starting Hawaiiverse, is no matter how big we get, no matter if we need the money or not, if Taco Bell or whatever the biggest fast food company chain restaurant comes to us with $100 million, I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that does not align with what I want to promote.
Amen.
Yeah, but if they showed me $100 million, I don't know.
Remember, my husband asked me that. My husband said, if somebody asks you to buy Lexbreezy for $1 million?" I said, no freaking way.
$1 million? No, that's too cheap for what you're doing.
I'm like, no, I love what I do.
100 million. No,
100
I'm asking
million, we'll
100
talk.
million. Oh yeah,
we'll talk. But
500 million. That's a no-brainer. 500 million.
I don't know.
Really?
We'll see.
I don't know. 500 million. I'd probably say yes to anything for 500 million. But I don't know. We'll see. Like you said. Okay. I got my last fast fave 5 questions. Okay. It's just rapid fire answers.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be like quick. Like I just want the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
But we can
I'll try.
talk about it. Okay. Favorite guilty pleasure.
What? What does that mean?
Like for example, some
Starbucks?
Oh yeah, right there. Yeah.
Bad. So bad.
How often do you go to Starbucks?
Don't ask me. Every day. There's one right by my house.
Are you like a platinum member, whatever?
Gold stars all the time.
Yeah.
Real bad.
What does that give you?
Like a free coffee? I'm not too sure.
Every day?
Not every day. Once in a while.
Oh, okay. Nice.
I know.
You coffee or tea drinker?
Coffee and tea.
How do you decide between the
if I'm
both?
sick or not.
Oh, okay.
How much sleep I get at night.
Okay. Nice. What is your order? What is your Starbucks
I'm just
order?
a caramel macchiato kind of girl.
Oh, okay.
Easy.
Nice. I don't drink coffee, so you could tell me anything. I think when I used to go to Starbucks growing up, I would just get the Frappuccino because they're sweet. Okay, favorite childhood snack?
Favorite childhood snack? I don't know. Cookies?
Cookies? Like what kind?
Like Big Island cookies?
Oh, Big Island candies? Or
Yeah.
All cookies from Big Island. If
Big
you make
Island
cookies
candy
on the Big
cookies.
Island, which is your favorite?
The one with the chocolate.
The chocolate dipped one?
The Big Island candy cookie. You know which one? The one that's like half chocolate.
But they have like all kinds.
The
they
shortbread
have
one.
taro one. They have white chocolate. They got
Do
macadamia.
they?
Yeah.
Oh my
I
God.
love going. So once in a while, if I'm passing by Big Island candies, I'll go in because they always give you a free sample. That's
I didn't know they have
life hack.
taro.
Yeah, they got the taro with the white chocolate. White chocolate
interesting.
dipped. They have all kinds. So go check them out and go to the store because they give you free samples. Or like not a free sample, but you walk in, they give you this chocolate and like a half of a cookie every time you go in.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so go do that. Okay, well, what is your favorite designer?
Favorite designer? Of course, Simply Sisters by Lola Miller.
Hey, okay, shout out to them. Favorite restaurant?
My favorite restaurant is Hilo or Oahu?
One for each. How about that?
Okay. Hilo, it would be Reuben's.
Wow, I haven't been there in a while.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
it's my favorite.
Yeah, I think I went there doing the what was the last?
You need to go there. It's so yummy.
To go
It's so
use the
ono.
bathroom. That's all.
Reuben's and Oahu, oh my God, so much. For date night or what?
No, but give me all the suggestions. We need it all. Spill the tea.
Recently, we just went to Gas Lamp, which is really, really
Lamp? What is
fun.
that?
It's like a speakeasy.
Oh, nice.
And then TJ Sports Bar have like the best food, bar food.
Okay, my friend Ashton plays over there. Gas, but I never heard of Gas Lamp.
It's like a speakeasy in Kailua.
Kailua. Okay, I'm never really on that side, but I'll go check it out. Gas Lamp. Okay, cool. So, Reuben's in Hilo, Gas Lamp on Oahu.
Yes.
Okay, gotta add that. Reuben's. Man, I haven't been there. So the Mexican, right?
Yes.
Yeah, right in downtown.
The best
They're still
margaritas.
that's the. I'm thinking of the same place, right?
Yeah.
Right in downtown Hilo.
Right
Okay.
next to the farmer's
Yeah,
market.
yeah. Awesome. Okay. Let me get back to this. All right, last question. Favorite book?
Favorite book, The Last Lecture.
Last lecture. What is that about?
That's about a guy who's like discovering himself. He has cancer. It's just so good. You have to read it.
Who writes?
I forget his name, but
Okay.
The Last Lecture. It's gonna
okay.
bother me.
I'll
who
go
wrote
look it up.
You have to read that one.
Yeah.
So good.
I got a bunch of books I'm trying to get through, but
I have to actually
Yeah.
reread it.
really?
Yeah, I should reread it.
How old is it?
I read this years ago. Actually, Keone Payton actually gave me that
Oh,
book.
really?
Yeah, very good read.
Okay, I'll go check it out. Last lecture. Okay. Here's a bonus question because I'm just curious. What is your favorite movie and TV show right now?
Favorite movie
like to know what
and
people are
TV
watching.
show. Oh my God.
I just watched The Triangle of Sadness recently because Kaniela Ing, when he was on my podcast, he mentioned it, and it was a pretty cool movie.
Oh, I don't even know.
Yeah.
I
What-
watch
what's-
weird stuff.
It's all right. No judgment.
Me and my husband like gangster movies or whatever.
What is the last movie you watched?
We're watching 50 Cent's all his shows.
Oh, he has show. I didn't know that.
It's gangster
It's-
stuff.
it's like
I
a-
shouldn't be watching that kind of stuff though, for real.
Hey, people like what they like. Okay. I used to watch Pretty Little Liars.
Oh yeah, that
growing
was
up in
good. That was
college,
good too.
Mainly because my neighbor's sister would always watch it, and we'd just be there and we watch it, and then we got hooked. But yeah, watch whatever you want. If you watch anime, if you watch,
That's
gangster.
probably why my husband
Yeah.
has all kind of weird dreams because he watches all the gangster movies.
That's funny. All right, well, we're at the end of the podcast. I just want to say mahalo for coming on. Do you have anything else you want to share before we
No,
end?
just mahalo for having me, and we'll see you at Mary Monarch.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll be stopping by. I gotta update my wardrobe.
And get your girlfriend something. Don't forget your girlfriend.
She went to your we went to your warehouse
yeah,
a couple
yeah,
weeks
yeah.
ago. I had to go pick up some fabric for Callie, part of our Hawaiiverse team, to take it to Hilo. But we were only supposed to just grab a bag and go out, and she ended up waiting in line. But it was moving so slow because there's so many people. So I think she ended up waiting for like 30
But whenever
minutes.
you need
and
him
then
to get her something, you just let me know.
Yeah.
Whenever you want brownie points,
Okay,
that's
okay.
what I'm like. If you ever want brownie points for a boyfriend, just shop at Lexbreezy
Okay,
because
okay, I
those are
got
like
you.
20 brownie points.
Okay,
for sure.
her birthday passed, so I got a whole year to save up for that. Okay, well, where can we find you?
You can find us on Instagram, Lexbreezy Hawai'i. Our website is lexbreezyhawaii.com, and our Kailua location is at 16 Kainehe Street.
Okay, cool. And before you leave, I have to give you a gift bag from KTA
Oh my God.
Superstores. So because
So
you're also
exciting.
someone special.
Thank you.
Yeah, but I just want to say
Mahalo, KTA.
just want to say mahalo, Alexis, for joining us on the Hawaiiverse podcast. Check us out on hawaiiverse.com and download our free app right now to start supporting our local businesses. Spread aloha, be kind to one another, and mahalo for listening to us today. New episodes every Thursday, so make sure you follow us and leave a review. I'm your host, Kamaka, and you'll hear me next time on the Hawaiiverse podcast. Ahui ho. Hey, Mahalo.
Yay.